Hi guys, welcome back to another interesting video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to go about sewing this waistcoat. From the previous video, you must have learned how to go about drafting and cutting it. And this particular one is just basically going to be the sewing aspect of it. So after cutting the vest on my fabric, I went ahead to cut the lining precisely the same thing, except for the down part being 1 inch shorter than the main fabric. So take note of that. And I did the same thing on the front panel. So this is how it looks. I also ensure that this part especially is 1 inch shorter than the main fabric. To cut the black material, we just need about 1.5 inches, depending on your choice. If you want 2 inches, you can go for that. But in this case, I'm using 1.5 inches. So we're going to mark this on the front piece. That's 1.5. So we'll try as much as possible to curve it down to this point. So after marking that, you will still use your curve ruler to connect these 2 points first. So I'm going to connect these 2 points first. Good. Now, what I'm going to do is to curve it from this point. See this tip? So I'm going to curve it to this other point. So I'll look for a better way to position my curve ruler and bring about the curve properly. So I'm just going to blend it from there in, like this. Good. So that's the shape that I'm looking for on this black piece. So since I've gotten the shape, you know that we're going to stitch it by 1/2 inch in this other side and 1/2 inch in this other side. So we need additional 1 inch for the stitches. So I'm going to mark 1 inch from this point here. So I'll make sure that I increase it by 1 inch round. So guys, as I have settled for the shape that I want, I'm going to basically cut it out like this. Okay, so this is what I need for the black piece, and I'm going to cut it on the material. I'm still not comfortable with this edge, so I'll trim it down a little bit more. Just trim it down a little bit more. I want it to give me a very sharp edge. Good. So I'm now satisfied with what I have here. So let me just cut it on the black material. Okay guys, so this is what I have here. Remember that when I hold this by 1/2 inch in and this other side 1/2 inch, this is going to give me precisely what I need. And you need to cut 2 pieces of this and 2 pieces of this. So you have to get a lining for this one. That's how we're going to have it. This is what I have here. So if you can just notice something different from when I cut it, I actually inserted my dart. So this is actually the first thing that I cut, call it a lapel. Then I went ahead to turn it with the fabric. You can see how clean and how beautiful it looks. So this is just going to be the sewing aspect of this. So after holding down my darts, I open it up with steam iron, and then I had to paste my gum stay at the pocket area. Then I went ahead and dropped down my that end like this. This is what I like doing to give the front part of it a very clean vest. So what I'm going to do now is to actually insert my false pocket. This is not going to be a real pocket, but if you wish, you can go ahead to insert your real wealth pocket. But mine is going to be false pocket because it is actually not going to be functional. Okay. So guys, after fixing the pocket, this is what I have. You can see how beautiful and smart the pocket is. Look at how the back side is. As I said, it is a false pocket. That is a pocket illusion. So if you want to make yours a real pocket, there's no problem with that. So the next thing for me to do now is to get this lapel here, this piece here. I'm going to match it up like this and stitch on the neckline. So I'll do the same on both sides. Then when I'm done, I'll show you the next thing to do. So after stitching, this is what I have. So you can see how nicely relaxed it is. So make sure that you iron each stitches. So the next thing is to pick up my back piece. Now this is the back piece. So I'm going to open it up like this. Then I'll place it right side facing each other. So this is the right side and this is the wrong side. So I'm going to place it, this is the right side. Then I'll flip over this right side like so and match it up in the shoulder parts. Then I'm going to join the shoulder by half of an inch like this on the shoulder, on both shoulder, half of an inch. Then when I'm done, I'll also join the lining fabric just the same way I did to the main fabric. Put the right side facing each other, and I'm also going to join it on the shoulder. When I'm done, I'll show you what to do next. Okay guys, so after joining it, this is what I have. You can see I ironed it down already because of how this place is big, so I had to iron it to this side. And I've forgotten to tell you, if you want to stay your clothes, you can go ahead and stay it. This particular material is very, very good, so I don't need to make it too heavy since it is just a waistcoat. So I did the same thing to the lining as I said. So this is how it looks like. I have joined it here. Just a kind of a reminder, if you don't know how to go about this, like combination of the lining and the main fabric, just check the suit tutorial. You will see something that I did that's close to that. So when I am done, the next thing for me to do now is to place the lining part like this, and I'll then put the main fabric on top of the lining. So putting it right side facing each other. So I'm going to match the shoulder, and I'll go ahead to match my neckline like so. Then I'll make sure that I run a stitch from this point here, half of an inch over to this point. Then I will turn it over following the neckline. Then when I get to this point, I'll pass to the back side. Then while making sure that the lines matches each other, I will keep stitching, and I will run the stitch over to this other side, to this point, and then finally I'll climax it here. When I'm done, I'll show you the next thing. So guys, after stitching, this is what I have. You can see I started my stitches somewhere here. See, run it down here and pass the four corners of the front panel. So I'm going to notch out some excesses. Okay, so after I've finished everything, I'm going to flip it over and then I will iron it. So let me show you how to go about ironing it. So in ironing any stuff like this, all you need to do is to start from this point. Just iron the seam very well. As you are ironing it, you are dragging it. Then you keep ironing. And you drag it to straighten the stitches. So when you're done ironing like that, you open up the seam like this. I know this is somehow stressful, but it gives a clean result. So open up the seam like this to the extent possible. Take note of that. There are some points that you may not be able to open up the seam. So you just ignore that point and move forward to the parts that you can open up the seam. So after opening up the seam like that, all you need to do is to place it like this on the wrong side facing up. Pull out all the fabric from the inside, turn it completely out. Then making sure that you give it a nice press. So guys, after ironing it to this point, you can see I've gotten everything well relaxed and neat. Now look at this. So the next thing to do is to make sure that I use my hemming gum to hold down this neckline. See this neckline? It is very important to hold it down. Either you stitch it on or you hold it down or you do both. So I'm going to stitch it on, then I will hold it down with my hemming gun. Let's stitch it right now. So what I'm going to do at this point, here is my hemming gun. I'm keeping it down. Then I'll locate my neckline. So I'm going to stitch this excess to the back side. So I'm going to use this now at this point, and I place it here, you can see, behind. Then I'll make my stitches from this point, So I'll top stitch while controlling the hemming gum underneath to ensure that the stitches catches the hemming gum very well. So, so as you're stitching, make sure you control the hemming gum underneath to have a very flat. Notice that I'm stitching on the lining parts, not on the main fabric. Okay, so that's where I'm going to stop the stitches. So let's go over and iron it now. So I will ensure that the fabric is well placed, because this is going to be the stitches that, this ironing is going to hold down the stitches and the fabric together, the two fabrics together. So I have to ensure that everything stands in place. Then I'll turn the right side to straighten the fabric. So make sure that you iron on the right side so as not to have any twisted fabric. So this is a very flat, oh my god, can you see this? When you do like this, believe me, no lining fabric will pop up on the neckline when the person is working the outfit. So you can see, you need to take your time to deliver a professional work. The next thing is to open it up like this, flip it over, and match up the shoulder line. Then I'm going to start from here, stitch up to this point, then I will climax it here. So let's do that now. So after that, we're still going to notch it and trim out some excess. So the next thing to do is to turn this inside out. So you now pull it out from the back side, you can see. I'm going to turn this out, pull it out like that. Gently pull it out. And do so in this other side. Put your hand in the back side and bring out the front. See, like this. This is very simple. Okay, so this is what I have. As you're stitching the armhole, you can also insert the hemming gum so as not to make the armhole, this lining part to come out. But if you did not insert the hemming gum, you can still do so when you are ironing. So that's what I'm going to do. So guys, after ironing the armhole, you can see how everything is very neat and flat. and it is blending. You cannot see the lining popping up because I have inserted hemming gum to give it a very nice press. So at this point, I'm going to flip it over like this, matching the shoulder to the shoulder. See, this is one armhole, so I'm putting it together like this by the side seam. I'll use 1 inch seam allowance that is here in the fabric to do the stitches. Remember, I added 1 inch side seam allowance, so I'm going to stitch it at 1 inch too. Afterward, I will flip it over to the lining part and also stitch it down to the full length. So I'll match it up like this, then continue the stitches from where I stopped. Okay, so when I'm done with one side, I'll do the same thing with the other side. So this is what I have in this other side. You can see everything just came out very beautiful. You can see now. So everything came out very beautiful, both the front and the back. All right, so I'll do the same thing on this other sleeve. So this is the armhole. I'll now pick it up like this. I'll match it up like this, and then ensuring that the both meet at this point here, where I'm going to stitch by 1 inch, so as to give me a very clean and accurate side seam. Okay guys, so when I'm done, this is what I have. So I'll go over to the ironing table and open up the seam like this. After ironing it down, I'm going to open up the seam and iron it. Then when I'm done, I'll show you what to do next. So guys, after ironing it, this is what I have. You can see now everything is really flat and relaxed inside. Everything is very neat. Wow, so this is an amazing piece. So finally, what we're going to do is to close the hem part. And to close the hem part, I'm going to flip this over like this. So I'm going to stitch it like this, half of an inch towards this side. I'll skip like 4 inches at the center. Then I will continue the stitches to the other side. So when I'm done, I'll show you what to do next. So guys, when I'm done stitching, this is what I have. You can see how clean it is. So the next thing that I'm going to do at this point is to flip it over like this, and then I'll bring out the front side. So you can see everything is well relaxed now, and it is so beautiful. You can see everything is neat and very beautiful. So this is how it is like. So the next thing is just to iron it down. So I'm going to iron it down now using the heat. You can see this part. We have an excess here. So you see this part coming up a little. So yours should be like that. And make sure that you bring out all the points, and then I'm going to iron it down. And you can see that the lining fabric has a little excess. So guys, this is how far we can go for this video. So do well to subscribe to this channel if you have not yet done so. And Make sure that you turn on your notification bell, like this video, share it to as many people as possible, and continue to leave your thoughts in the comment section. So thank you very much for staying tuned. From me now, it's bye bye for now.